Welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Maximilian Moreau, and with me is my tech, Philip Wilson.
Good evening.
So, before we start tonight's episode, I just wanted to show you guys something real fast. We made a game for Indie Speedrun 2012, and even though it's 2013 now, and it's still being voted on right now. So if you can spare some votes, we're going to give you a website to go to vote on the project. I just want to really quickly show you what we made. This is a 48-hour, 4-person competition, and I was one of those 4 people. The rest are people you'll probably meet soon on the show at some point. So the game is Build Up Your Pagoda, and it's a little tower defense game where you can basically go around, zoom in, zoom out. A few bugs. It was 48 hours. And little ninjas come in to attack and try and kill your daimyo here. And so you can set up various traps for them to slow them down and kill them.
My spleen!
And it's got wonderful voice acting in it, as I like to do in my latest projects.
No! Poor spleen. Why?
We're gonna put some killer koi in here. Yeah, go koi!
No! Well, that ninja got
Why?
He did.
It's a pretty neat little game. I've played it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
My
It's a pretty good
spleen!
little game. If they get to the edge
My
here, you get
spleen!
this little rolling rock. It's kind of similar to how it destroys your traps as well as the enemies. It's kind of similar to what is that game called? Not Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Plants vs Zombies. But yeah, so this is basically the game. So you build up your tower and it gets bigger until you finally beat the game. And so check it out and give us a vote. Especially if you like it. Don't vote if you don't like it. Anyway, with that, what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to go back to pathfinding AI type stuff and probably flesh out a level. We had bugs in our AI system that we didn't have time to figure out last week. And so we're going to actually do that on this episode now. So we're going to basically be putting our zombie back in, making sure everything works, and Phil's going to handle this for the first part of the episode here.
Okie dokie.
So let's switch you over to the command chair.
I get to take command. My name is Phil. I'll be your pilot. And let's get this on the show on the road. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is actually move this back to where it should be. Just so we can get our zombie back here. And let's see, we'll get a zombie. Make sure that zombie's actually in the world. Alright, so we have a little zombie, and here's what the bug that we were encountering was. I'm going to actually show you guys real quick. So you can see the zombie is heading towards us slowly. No, pretty slowly right now. So he would come to find us, and if for some reason, like, if we broke line of contact, or line of sight with him again, see how he's wandering off to somewhere he shouldn't be wandering to? That is pretty much the problem. Looks like we're getting a stack problem. This is due to the pathfinding, actually. The way that we've implemented pathfinding has a little bit of an issue. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Dijkstra algorithm here. Okay, so the reason why this is happening is if the node that the AI is targeting is the same one that you're at for some reason, well, I know why actually. It's not getting a stack. It's actually returning null. It's right here in this little u equals target. We actually don't have a situation where if u is the target initially, since it's going to basically go through here. So it's if u is equal to the target. Now, if this is the first starting node, it's going to create this stack, but it's only checking if it has a previous node in the dictionary. So what this is causing a problem basically to where it's not getting anything into the stack. It's returning an empty stack. So that's why the enemy is flying off towards nowhere land, basically. So we're going to fix that first. I'll just go ahead and do this. So all we're going to do is go over here and add... Oh, goodness. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I need notes. I'm not advanced enough not to have notes.
Nothing wrong with notes.
I feel like I'm cheating.
You are not.
So what we're going to do is do the stack. We're going to go ahead and do a push real fast. So we're going to add the current U, basically U right now, to the stack. Now it's going to make sure that if U is the target, that it's still going to get on that stack. And what we're going to do is this would actually run into a little bit of a problem the way we have it implemented now, because we're going to be adding the target twice if this is the case. So we're going to fix that, and we're going to just do previous U right here. And this is just going to add the previous node instead. Now this should fix that initial problem. Let's see if it does. Oh, that was the wrong way. Where is he?
There still are a couple other problems, so this
There
may
are.
not totally fix it.
Was going to fix one of the problems?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me fix that other problem right now. What I did notice actually is that on the player script, the first-person controller here, there's an interesting little thing that I didn't notice initially, but there are 2 current node scripts right now on this, and there don't need to be 2 of them. And then on top of that, we're actually flagging the player as AI, and that's not what we need to do.
Can you go ahead and apply that to the prefab as well?
Oh, where's the prefab?
Just hit apply at the top.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thanks.
There we are. Now it's applied. So what this is going to do is fix that problem. Like, this problem should actually be fixed by now. So we're going to see that. Hey, dude. He's going to be like, wow, you're right there. And try to find it. I guess that was his closest pathfinding node. Was back there. Did you see that? He wandered back to that one. And now he's coming this way. Nope. Oh, he's orbiting. That's interesting. I didn't expect that to happen.
No. So he really likes that node over there, even though you're closer to a different node.
Yeah. That's weird. That should have fixed it. And now I'm confused.
Here, what does it say the first-person controller's current node is?
Let's see. Node 2. That's not very
Doesn't really help us
explicit,
very
though,
much,
because
does
we
it?
have a ton
Yeah.
of Node 2s right now.
Although you can click it and find out which one it is.
Oh, and it's actually getting a null reference exception. Collider tag. Really? Why?
Want me to take over and start looking at things?
I was going to add one thing real quick, if
go
that's
for it.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead and
let's
add the...
debug this after this in
right,
a moment.
sounds
here.
good.
Sorry about that, but
Hey, no need to apologize.
yeah, I don't know what I tested this on my own. It you know, may have just missed something. That's certainly possible.
I don't think you missed anything. I think that this is probably something to do with my project. So
what we're going to do is actually there is a situation where the Dijkstra won't work, and we're going to make it a little bit more generic so it'll work in more situations. If like there were 2 different node meshes in the level, like there was one node, there were a set of nodes that was not connected to another set of nodes, what under the current implementation of Dijkstra that we have here, it actually wouldn't be able to tell that it couldn't pathfind to that node. It would try, but it wouldn't get there, and it would just cause problems. So what I'm going to actually do is we're going to get rid of the graph from the Dijkstra, and we're going to have it dynamically generate one. So we're going to need a list for this of game objects. Oh, goodness. And we're just going to call it node graph. And, of course, we need to initialize it. New list, game object, initialized. So now we have a new list for just the node graph itself. And right away with the node graph, we're going to need to add the current node. We just need to add the first one that we get, basically. It needs something to be in this list for this to work. So what we're going to do is essentially a little for loop. And we'll just do for int I for iteration equals 0 as long as I is less than the node graph dot count. we're going to add an eye. So this will only iterate at the beginning one time. But as this goes on, it'll actually add more. So we're going to be adding things to the node graph as it finds them. So what we're going to do is the for each game object node in node graph iteration get component. This is kind of a lot right here. Node neighbors. So what this is going to do is basically go through the node that the eye counter is pointing at. So right here it would be I0. It would be the first node in this list. It'll get the component of neighbors from that node. So it'll find all of its neighbors and go through them all. And then we're going to do if it does not contain, that's kind of weird, not contain node. There. If it does not contain node in that list, we're going to go ahead and add it. And so as this list keeps getting bigger, it'll keep iterating and finding all the neighbors. Basically, it'll just give itself a graph of all the connected nodes, so you can have multiple meshes all over your level. I think that's about it. And then all I have to do is just change this graph here to node graph. And we actually don't need this anymore. So next time this compiles, it'll have a few little issues.
Do you want to go through those, or do you want me to go through those?
Oh, there's just two of them. It's pretty easy stuff. I say easy, but I obviously didn't know what was going on. So in the node script here, we're going to actually have the first one of those. And that's just because it's the onDraw gizmos, so it's trying to draw all of its neighbors with this algorithm, and it won't need that anymore. And then the other one, we'll just go over here. No overload methods for Dijkstra, and this is for the zombie AI. And all we have to do is get rid of this find Gabe's objects with tag. And now it'll dynamically generate node mesh.
Excellent.
And that's all.
All right. You want to switch back over?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll switch back over. We should probably figure out what's going on with that zombie.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to...
Yeah, I had not seen that happen before. Even I tested it on my end, of course, but
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
We don't know what that means.
Let's just go ahead and hit play and see what we get. So we still have the zombie. The zombie is hanging out at that node.
Yeah, he's hanging out at it right now, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Maybe I messed something up.
I don't think he did, but we'll
It's
check
possible.
too. We'll check.
Oh, it's possible.
So yeah, he likes that node. So I'm currently at, I'm going to pause this and find out where I'm at. So first person controller, inspector, current node, node 2. So node 2 is
That node.
what we expected. That's the one I'm closest to. And so let's look at the monster, zombie. So its current node is node 1. So we definitely have node 1 for the zombie there. And so let's actually debug this a little bit. I'm going to do it by using a public variable just so we can view it in the editor, which is one of the techniques you can do here. So we're going to do actually private game object. Oh, I think we can actually, what is this? If we switch this to debug, I think it'll show us our private variables.
Oh, really?
Although it did not. Yeah, that didn't work. I swear that worked, but...
So that would be awesome if
yeah, that would be
case.
totally awesome. Well, I'm just going to make this public. So the goal is going to be public so that we can see it. So now we're here. I don't even have to move my position. Let's see what the zombie's doing. Its current node is goal... Oh. Did I not hit save? Huh.
What happened?
Oh, this is zombie AI.
Yeah.
Actually, let's put this back to private, because I think that the debug thing was working. I just wasn't looking in the right place. So let's check debug, and let's go to the zombie AI. right here. There you go. Gold, none. See, it's grayed out, but it's there. So that is what this does. So if you switch to debug, you'll see your private variables there.
I learn something new every day.
So
for right now,
his goal is node 1, which is not what we want. His goal should be node 2, certainly when we get to this point. So let's see where he's getting his node from. So I'm just going to search for goal here. So goal equals path.pop. So that should be the last thing that we stuck into the Dijkstra implementation.
Yeah, I think it was something that I added there.
Equals previous U. So we add U, which is the target, and then if it has more things, we add those things, and then we change it to the next one, and then the next time it'll check to see if it's null, and it'll skip it if it does. So you'd think this would be exactly what we want to have happen.
You would think so. I find this kind of odd myself.
Yeah. So his goal is still node 1. Let's look at the player here. I'm on node 2. Let's move to another node. Let's just try getting further away and see if that helps. So what's my current node? It's this node 2. Is that the right one? Looks like it. So Zombie is still stuck on node 1, and he still thinks he should be attempting to get to node 1. Alright. So
should revert those pushes that I did real quick.
Think so?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
No, I don't want to undo that stuff. What am I doing? Just gonna revert.
It's the no, it's just the S push U, and then the previous U, just change it to U again.
Okay.
And see if that fixes at least this minor problem. And
so you just think S push U there?
Yep.
See if that solves it?
Yep.
All right. And he seems to be going to the right place now.
Interesting.
Yeah, not quite sure why that wasn't working. So you can see
we're still going to have the issue where if he's in the same spot, he's going to freak out.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't appear to be having that issue.
You have to break line of sight.
Okay. Where's a good place to test
The corner. You're getting the null reference exception right now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this for a little while.
71.
But that is unfortunate.
No, that one doesn't matter. The one that we're getting there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just in the draw gizmos thing.
Well, maybe that fixed it anyway.
I think that was what's happening there is somehow it was raycasting and not hitting anything.
Oh, really?
And so the hit wasn't containing any information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, over there at that corner is the spot where I like to test this. No, it seems like it's working fine now. Well, cool.
I swear that list is probably messed up. Because it seems like what you changed there would have been more right than what we had there before. I'm not going to dwell on this.
Okay. We should just move forward.
Yeah,
I'll look into it.
We're gonna move forward on this one because it appears to be working. I'm gonna fix this quick little null reference exception problem. I'm gonna set the raycast hit equal to null, and then we're going to down here if hit does not equal null. And just encapsulate this. So now we shouldn't get that null reference exception that we got a couple times there anymore, although Oh, this isn't an object, so it can't be null. It's a value type. Alright, let's try this. If hit.collider.tag does not equal null.
That'll probably make a difference, actually.
Actually, let's do hit.collider does not equal null. I don't know if this is actually going to fix it. I'm not even 100% sure how I tested this in the first place, so. Come to me. So, gonna block his view of me here. Alright, no big problems so far.
Well, it looks like it's working.
I don't know. They'll probably rear its ugly head at some point here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it a little bit more, so.
It looks like it's going good enough. Alright. Well, our AI is working.
Yeah. And now it can do the different meshes.
Different meshes.
Yep. Now you can have different pathfinding meshes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, like, we can break, like, say if we break this one. Actually, I'm curious what will happen if we just delete this node here.
Wow.
Oh, that's because this thing has neighbors.
It has
and stuff.
reference,
So
the neighbors reference those nodes still.
Yeah. Probably should make a... Let's actually make a script that does that real quick. So we have the automatic connect nodes thing, so we can click on our nodes and connect them up by doing this right here, connect nodes to neighbors. I'm going to have a disconnect one. I think that'll be useful to have so that we don't run into this issue. So, where's that in? If we go into our node script, disconnect node from neighbors. GH. There we go. So we're going to do disconnect to neighbors. That's just what we're going to call it. And so what we're going to do is we're not going to clear the neighbors. We don't care about the distance. So what we care about is we're going to do a for each loop for each game object neighbor in neighbors. We're going to go get their script thing. So we're going to call it, actually we can just we're going to get the node script on them. So it's going to be neighbor dot get component dot caret node dot neighbors dot remove, and then we give it our current node. So that's our game object. So game object.
Wow.
And then after that, we just do neighbors dot clear, and that should be the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that seems like that's it.
So I'm going to undo what we did before, where we deleted it. There we go. So we have it there. I'm going to redo whatever I did there. It was just a selection change, but I want to be sure. So before, when we deleted this, here, let's hit play so it clears the console real quick. So before, if we just delete this, we get all these missing reference exceptions because all of a sudden all these things, all these nodes are referencing the node that doesn't exist anymore. So if we undo that again, clear the console again, we can now, if we select this node, give me that node. Come on. Connect that node to me. There we go. We can now go in here and do disconnect node from neighbors. And the node still exists, but it's now disconnected from all the neighbors, and if we delete it, we should get no errors. I don't know why delete's not working. There we go. And we got no errors, so that worked. So I'm curious, our little dude should be quite confused by him not being able to get to us.
Yeah, he should probably just be orbiting that node.
Why is he up there?
I do not know.
Is that where you put him?
No, I don't believe so.
So yeah, he doesn't orbit the node because he doesn't have any path to me, so he should do nothing, actually, which is what he's doing. So he just locks up, which is fine. That's good. Yeah. So that means that our little thing worked.
But
now, what?
You should take him out. You should basically line of sight him till he can see you. And then he should be able to traverse along the current node mesh that we have.
That's true. Yeah, let's check to see if that works, just for the fun of it.
I mean, that's just kind of exciting times. As far. I guess I did place him on the wall. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I kind of like him on the wall.
He's just hanging out on the wall and jumps down to see us. Hey, guys!
Alright, so I need him to get close enough that when we break line of sight, he'll be on one of these, so this should be good enough. Well, I'm glad I have this sphere here to break line of sight now, because those walls don't come back. To break line of sight, and he's using the node mesh that he's in now.
Yep,
Joy.
So that does work. At least that part of my code worked.
Yay. Awesome. So, so now that we got that disconnected, I'm going to actually try something real quick. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm curious. If we do a void on destroy and have it do disconnect neighbors, I'm curious if this will make it automatic now if you delete a node. So I'm going to undo again. We're going to command Z a couple times. Oh, okay, so we're going to have to use the undo manager if we want this to undo properly, because now the undone node connections don't get undone. I'm not going to cover this episode, but let's go ahead and connect this guy up. So I'm going to click on him, and I'm just going to have him connect up to the connect node to neighbors. There we go. So he's all connected up again, and now I'm just going to hit delete. And I'm
the
not
neighbor
sure if this
nodes
is gonna
don't
work.
have references to them, though.
What do you mean the new? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'd just select all the nodes and do a quick.
All right, fine. We'll just do the whole thing.
It's easy.
All right. So we hit play. No, we don't hit play. Let's just hit delete on this thing and see if it just magically works. I have a feeling this may not work because it's not an editor script, which we'll go into on another. Give it to me. What does it want me to click on? Fine, I'm just going to find you in the list. There you are. And we're going to delete you. Nope, it didn't fix it. Okay. Didn't think it would.
So if you do this, just make sure to unconnect.
Yeah, make sure you disconnect beforehand.
Just keeps everything a little bit cleaner that way.
I'm still going to keep that in there. So at runtime, that'll probably actually work. So let's just test that for fun. So if we, for whatever reason, deleted a node at runtime, any of these should give us some sort of error. So I'm just going to delete it. And there was no error, so that's cool. So I'm just going to leave that in there, whatever. Because we might real-time delete some nodes at some point in the future.
You could probably have it just run on editor, and it'll probably work.
Yeah. So, what are we going to do at this point? So, let's actually make a kind of real level out of this stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of set up a couple of prefab room type things, and we're gonna connect them together and kind of flesh out a level, and then have kind of an ending area. And once we're done with that, we're gonna put some zombies in there, and maybe we'll make another monster. I'm not sure, probably not, but yeah, we'll just get it so that we have a level that you can play through. So one of the things I'm going to do first is I'm going to change this back to how we had it. The floor here we set up for debugging our little projection system thing, and so well, not projection system, but decal system, and I'm just going to remove that because we don't really want that one on there. And I'm also going to change the tile to once again be What is this? Why? Why does this look so different?
Do you still have the debug thing on?
Oh, I do. That's probably it. Yep, that's it. All right.
That would do it.
Yay! All right. So yeah, debug makes things look interesting sometimes. So I'm going to set this back to 40 and 40, although we're probably going to make it smaller because I'm going to be resizing this a little bit. Let's resize it, actually. Let's make it 10 by 10. And let's have this to be appropriate.
Well, that enemy is just going to fall off into nothing.
Yes, he is, but that's okay. We're going to be reorganizing this. So, yeah, we'll just have this as kind of an arena room type thing. I'm going to get rid of all these nodes. We'll renode everything in a second here. Actually, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to make one of these an actual prefab because we have yet to do that for some reason.
Oh yeah, we don't have any prefab nodes, huh?
Yeah, so node 1's now a prefab, although I'm going to go into it and
give it node net elements.
Yeah, we're going to set this to 0. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of these. I'm going to check our node one more time here I'm just going to call it node.
To make sure the layer mask is okay as well, the collision one. Just needs nodes and collision on the collision layer mask there. There. Okay,
yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that was correct.
Yeah. Alright, so there we go. We have our node prefab set up relatively well. I'm going to now take one of these. We're going to make it, I guess I'm going to make it 100. Because 10 times 10 is the actual size of this thing. Negative 50. I'm going to duplicate it. Put it at 50.
It didn't duplicate it at all.
Huh. I thought it did. Okay, it didn't duplicate it. Duplicate. There we go. 50. I'm going to get rid of these walls that we have here.
Where will that enemy sit now?
We're going to get the enemy to sit somewhere else at some point. He'll have a home. We'll give him a home. Don't worry about it.
He's a homeless enemy right now.
He is. He is so very homeless right now. So we're going to duplicate this. And rotate 90 degrees on the Y. We're just going to set its Z position to 0. And its X position to negative 50. And then we're going to duplicate one more time and throw it on the other side. So we have our basic room here. I'm going to just put our dude in here. He should work completely without a node mesh if you're in the same room with him at least. So that's
he
nice.
Should.
Yep.
He'll just stop moving when he doesn't
path
see
around
you, though.
anything. Yeah, exactly. He just freezes up. So we'll note this at some point. So, so we have this monster closet thing. Can I get away with putting all of these into a parent object? Let's find out if it still works if we do that. So I'm going to create an empty game object. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see if this will still operate. And it does, yay. I like that the walls kind of move out and in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Null reference exception. And Dijkstra.
Yep.
Okay.
There are
see,
no
it's
nodes.
because source is null.
Yeah.
So,
might just want to add a null.
a null check, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. If source and if source does not equal null and target does not equal null. So put that around everything except for the return null. Now hit save on this, and that should get rid of that little error, hopefully. And it does. Yay.
So he just pathfinds. He's just a zombie now. Once he doesn't see you, you don't exist anymore to him.
Yep. See, oh yeah, our floor is still transparent. Hold on. The clipping error you were seeing there is because we're using transparency on something that should definitely just be diffuse. Alright.
There we are, we got a big arena now.
Alright, so we have a big arena. We have a monster closet that we can populate in places. I'm going to go ahead and make this into a prefab. I'm going to get rid of the existing monster closet prefab because it's actually just one of... Oh, wait, no, that is it. We didn't have a prefab before?
Nope.
Yeah, we did. Here it is.
Oh.
Okay, delete this one. We currently, on Unity, can't have nested prefabs. That's supposedly coming soon. I'm very excited about it. In the meantime, if you have a reference to another prefab in another prefab, if you change the prefab that is inside of the other prefab, it won't change, it won't update automatically, which is unfortunate, but that's going to change. So now that we have this thing as a prefab, I'm going to just delete it from the scene here, so we have this nice blank area. I'm going to go ahead and, where's our test sphere here? I'm going to, because we did the transparent thing, I'm going to create a parent report real quick. Test sphere. This is just so in case we need it later, we can use it. And I want this position to be the same as one of these. So let's just copy component, paste component values. We can put the size back down to 0, or sorry, 1. We don't want 0. And then we can just make these two children of it. And we're going to create a prefab on it.
Just in case.
And now we can delete this thing. So we have this huge arena. This is probably bigger than we'll ever need for anything, but I'm going to keep it as one. So I'm going to take all these walls and the floor, and we're going to put these as children of another game object. We're going to call this Arena 1.
No, its position's a little off.
This position is a little off? Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's actually undo what we just did.
I've had that problem before.
So, Arena 1, we want to be at
0,
0, 0. Is this actually at 0, 0, 0? Like the floor, basically?
I believe
yes,
so.
Yes, it is. Good.
Oh, floor's a little off 0, actually. It's at... looks like 1 there.
0. And all these were... yeah, all these are right. Okay, so now that we have that, and now that we have the Arena 1 thing at 0, 0, 0, we're going to grab all these and put them in there. Alright, so we have Arena 1. I'm going to create this as a prefab. Might have to organize our prefabs folder a little bit in a second here. Alright, so let's make some hallways. I'm just going to make a... just going to take these, one of these walls. Copy.
And move it to wherever you want.
Oops. Duplicate, rather.
Then move it to wherever you want.
Outside of here. No, not into the camera, just somewhere. And we're just going to... I'm just going to kind of work from the 0 place here, actually. I think we can hide these so that they don't show up some way. But I don't know how. So I'm not going to. So, let's make a 5-meter wide or 10-meter wide hall. So 5 in the Z. And we duplicate again. No, actually duplicate. We'd go -5 in the Z. We're going to need a floor for it as well. The one problem with this is we have to have a material per floor if we want to get the tiling, if we have to manually change the tiling in every case. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually going to just duplicate this floor pull it out of here. I'm going to move these back to the positions they were before. So the Z is just going to be, oh wait, no, the X is going to be 0. And so I'm going to pull the floor with it, which means that we might have some overlapping floor in some cases. I'm going to try and avoid it. I'm going to kind of do this as a grid type thing at first. I just want to kind of show you that you can just kind of build things. And you can use prefabs to make it easier to build things. And additionally, if you set things up as different rooms and stuff, it's easier later to, if you want to make like a randomly generated level, if you have a bunch of like preset room types, you can just randomly connect them and create kind of a sprawling.
So a really good example of that is a SCP Containment Breach.
Yes. SCP Containment Breach is a really cool game. You guys should check it out. It's a little bit underpolished, but it's got a lot of heart, and
it has a lot of creepy too.
A lot of creepy, and it has randomly generated areas, but like you'll go to areas and they're designed areas, but each one is connected kind of in a random way when you play the game.
Yeah, it's like basically they're using like a block system like this and connecting the blocks as necessary.
So I'm going to create a what am I creating? Another empty game object. We're going to call this. We're going to put 000. And we're going to put it into, we're going to call it Hall 1. And throw all this into it. So as you can see, when I move it out here, it has more floor than it needs, but at least the tiling will be consistent between the two. This is going to be a lot of walking.
Yeah, that really is.
I'm going to scale all these things down.
You just make your player move a lot faster.
That's true. We could go the Doom route.
Yeah, just make it the player.
No, I think it's
the
just a little too big. I'm just going to make it smaller. The floor, let's make it just that's too small. 5. Make it half the size. Let's see how that actually feels real quick. You know, maybe it's not too bad. No, let's make it the 5.
Yeah,
let's do that.
The smaller size is probably better.
Alright, so we're just going to make these 50 then.
What?
Oh, that's the arena.
Oh, okay.
50... What is this? Play animation on trigger ender. Oh, we still have the... Oh, dang it. Monster Closet trigger didn't go with the Monster Closet.
That is unfortunate.
Let's bring that Monster Closet back in real quick. Where's the Monster Closet trigger? Just throw that in there. Hit apply. And see if it works real quick. Nope, we have to reassign that. So yeah, so we just need to grab all these and put them in there.
Oh yeah, then it'll work fine.
Let's see if it works. Yay, it works.
There we go.
Alright.
I just need to apply that prefab.
I think I already did.
Oh, did you?
Hit it again.
Yeah.
Delete it. Alright, cool. Go back in here. 50. 50. Then I guess I could have done this at the same
25.
time. 25. 25. It's possible that we could have done a just resized the arena itself. I didn't want to do that because it's better not to have the parent objects have a transform, and I will hit apply on that once I get them into position. And we want to make the floor tile 10 now.
I noticed that changed the other floor as well when you did that.
Yep.
Because you're changing the material itself.
We're going to be changing that hallway to be the same type of small size as well. So so we have this. Let's go ahead and hit apply on our Arena 1. Let's fix this one up. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to change the scale here. And now you can see the textures is about the same on both of them, and we're just going to make this 50 and 50. I'm going to create a prefab out of hall 1. So now we can just slide these things together.
Nice.
Interesting.
A little bit strange there, but that's okay.
Wait, okay, hold on. Oh, the pivot's off. Somewhere we messed this up. So let's go into the floor, wall, and wall.
Oh, that's where it is.
Move them all this way.
They're actually manipulating the position of the objects inside the parent object instead of the parent object itself.
All right. So let's go ahead and save this one out again. Apply. All right, so we have a hall. This is not going to be a very interesting level, is it? Let's basically just do a couple of these arenas.
They don't have any entrances in the hall as of right now.
Yeah, we'll fix that in a second.
That doesn't take much.
Honestly, we should have probably built that into the prefab so that we didn't have to worry about it. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. That's the right way to do it. So I'm going to delete this second Arena 1. Nope, that was duplicate. Let's try this again. All right, so let's go to Arena 1, and let's actually make it so that we can have an exit from any one of the directions in the middle. So we're going to actually make this wall 20. No, wait. How wide was our hallway? Yeah, 20. That's perfect. 20. So we offset it so that there we go. And then we duplicate it.
Just do positive 15.
Again. The way I'm getting whole numbers there is if you hold down Command, it'll actually snap to the grid system. And you can adjust the grid system, I think, in Preferences.
That is super handy.
Or it's not in here.
It's somewhere in here.
It's in Editor, probably. Nope, it's not an Editor either. It's somewhere. I swear it exists somewhere.
You saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
This one time. Yeah, that's a really handy feature, actually. I didn't know about that. I love whole numbers.
Snap settings, there it is. It's at the bottom of the screen here. Snap settings. So you can change the move X, move Y, move Z.
You can change them to 5s, whatever you want.
Yeah. Or halves even if you want better precision. So we have this. We're just going to do this on all sides. The easy one, of course, will be to just delete, that was duplicate again. Delete, continue. We don't care if we lose the prefab. It doesn't actually lose the prefab, as you'll see soon. Actually, I didn't line these up perfectly, did I? It should be negative 16. Is that how it works? No.
No, it's just that the corners will look like that. From the inside, they'll look fine. From the outside, not so much.
Yeah, I'm just curious because they were kind of lined up before with the previous positions. Maybe they weren't. Maybe I wasn't looking close enough. Whatever. I don't care.
It'll be fine.
I do not care. So we're just going to take both of these, duplicate these ones. Now I do want to duplicate. And we're going to set the Z to be 25.
And now we got doorways.
Yep. And I'm just going to cheat and delete this one and this one.
Yeah, that's not cheating.
Then
It's
we're
just
going
called
to
saving time.
duplicate again, rotate 90. Ooh, not as clean as I was hoping, but that's okay. And just move these into position. So like that. And
so you just hold Command though. That's pretty sweet. I did not know about that.
yeah, I'm trying to remember to show things that are useful like that. Because I actually didn't know that one. I knew that you could. I hadn't used it myself until that game I showed at the beginning, Build Your Pagoda, actually, because we did a lot of that was very much a quantized situation where we split that up. So now we have all the walls here. I'm going to hit apply, so this goes back to our prefab. And we're going to add the doors so that we can just remove them if we don't need them. So I'm just going to create another duplicate of these. Okay, that was right. I'm going to slide it out here. We're going to make it smaller. We're going to make it
10?
10, I think. We set it to 0 here. I'm going to call this door. So these ones will be easier to find. So we can just duplicate that, throw it into positive Z, and then we can duplicate it again, which didn't actually duplicate that time. Sometimes if you don't have the right hierarchy selected, it won't do it, even though it shows you actually hitting duplicate, which is frustrating.
It happens.
Yes. Alright, and finally we're going to make the fourth door 2, even though we don't want it in this case. And now we just set this whole thing as a prefab again. And now we have a arena that we can use multiple times. So we're going to make a very blocky game, but it's going to work. So let's go ahead and delete this door now, which this is going to break our prefab instance, which is fine. We don't want it to be a prefab anymore at this point anyway. And now we're going to drag in another arena. And we're going to just going to zero out its position. Say we put it over here.
Right at 100, huh?
And then we can delete this.
It's like a dog bone looking level.
Oops, that was duplicate again. Lose our prefab connection, we don't care.
It's like a barbell. Or dumbbell or whatever.
Make another one of these here, so we're going to do another hallway. I just like zeroing it out to get it where we want it.
I agree.
And we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. In a lot of cases, when you're making a game, your artist is probably going to be doing the main level work unless you're making a procedurally generated game. But it never hurts to be comfortable with doing this in the editor in case you need something, and it's great for prototype work. I mean, like, all the stuff I'm showing you is kind of prototype work. As I've said, I want to do a segment at some point where I show more of the art portion, but that just hasn't gone through very well. We're just going to do I'm just going to do 2 more rooms real quick.
Sounds good.
What are we doing? Let's create one more arena. Start it out, drag it into position. And yeah, whatever.
This what we're gonna...
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it on this.
Okay.
Spending too much time messing around. I just am trying to show the theory here of how to construct with groups here. And we're gonna throw our zombie in the last room because I want to see if you can get to us once we throw our pathing in. So I'm going to create some nodes. So let's node up. So when you drag something into the scene, it normally kind of goes into an awkward location. I'm going to actually not drag it into the scene there. If you hold one of the buttons, I'm going to figure it out right now which one. Or is it a cord of buttons? Okay, maybe it has to be in the scene already. Okay, I swear there's one
that'll snap it.
That
basically
snaps it to the floor somehow.
We want these to be a little bit above the floor as well.
It doesn't matter too much.
I don't know.
Alright, gonna check Google real quick. Snap to Terrain Unity. I went with terrain because it's more strange. Shift and command and drag to the middle of the object. So that's what I thought I was doing, but I'm going to make sure I'm dragging actually the middle. Maybe, oh, it's probably because it's not actually, no, it's above everything.
Oh, it's way above everything.
Alright, so I'm going to just grab the middle and command and shift. That didn't do it. Maybe I have to hold shift and command before dragging. There we go. That's it.
Is that it, huh?
Okay, so that was the trick. So you hold shift and command and then you drag your object and it will actually snap onto whatever you put it on. So you can see the Y is changing as we move it up the wall there. And so we can just put these on the floor. They don't have to be floating the way we implemented this. You're bothered by that, aren't you? Okay.
A little bit.
We'll make them not float.
They should be floating a little bit. It's just because of the raycast. We don't want the raycast to hit the floor.
That's true. It is floating a little bit. See, it's like epsilon right there. E to the negative 17th. That's probably pretty good. Yeah, I'll make them all 0 because we can do that all at once we get them placed. So I'm just going to.
Oh, they should be floating a little bit. Is what I'm trying to.
0 will be floating. See, 0 is.
Oh.
No, 0's not floating, is it? 1's floating. We'll just make them all 1 then.
Perfect.
All right. Picky person, you.
Hey, when you do stuff like that, it just makes it so it doesn't have problems later on, though.
Yep.
That's the way I think, at least.
So since these rooms are pretty simple, we can actually get away with honestly just putting 1 node per room, I think.
I would agree completely.
If we had more fancy geometry around, we'd want to split that up more. So I'm just going to duplicate this, drag it to the center here. Duplicate again, drag it to the center here. Duplicate again, drag it to the center here. And duplicate one more time and drag it to the center here. And so now if we connect all these, so all these are roughly 100 apart, so I'm just going to set...
They're only 50 apart. Should
okay,
be.
50 apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
They might actually work just the way they are. Or are they all 100 apart?
I think they're all 100 apart.
Is it really 100?
Yeah, I think
wow.
it's 100.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 100. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So, let's grab our nodes. Let's set the node radius to 101, just to be safe, and connect node neighbors. So we have a node graph. So if we hit play here, we should be able to see our zombie making his way over to us. I'm going to hide behind the wall here while he's coming, so he doesn't immediately start pathing towards us. And there he goes.
Yep. We might run into a problem with this view of nodes if, like, the zombie was in the middle of the room, or, on the side of a room when you left the room, because he would be pathing into a wall to try to get to the next node.
Yes, you're right. He would be. So maybe we should have...
To have node probably right by the entrance of the door.
Node return behavior might be appropriate, too, where he tries to path to the initial node first.
He found you.
He found me and he's coming towards us. No! No, no, no! Die.
Oh.
Oh, my mouse isn't going. Okay, let's fix that. Before we end the episode, I'm basically going to end it here. I'm sorry this was kind of boring layout episode, but I think you get the ideas, and we're gonna make this. I think we're gonna do one more episode on this where we kind of finalize this stuff, make it more interesting, make it into a game. Next episode, we're just gonna spend the whole hour tweaking and kind of making it into something fun, and then. But before I finish, I just want to do one quick thing. What was it that I wanted to do?
That was shooting the enemy and having him not see you anymore.
Shooting the enemy and having him not see you anymore?
I don't know.
No, we have that one fixed, I think. Oh, we don't have that one fixed.
Correct.
There was another thing I wanted to fix too, though. Oh well. So right now, the decals are in kind of a bad situation. So if you shoot him in the face, he has trouble seeing us because he's actually colliding with the decals. So that's why his line is turning red there. So we're going to fix that real quick. So for whatever reason, bullet decal's in kind of a strange state right now. I don't know what this green thing means at all, and I don't know why it's a child of this, and I don't understand why it just shows up here for some reason. So I'm just dragging it in here. We're going to, you'll notice it doesn't have the child anymore. I'm going to just hit apply on it, and it gets rid of that weird child object. And then while we're here, I'm going to delete the box collider on here, which is something I thought that we had done before, but I guess we didn't. I'm going to hit apply one more time. So now if we do the bullet decal, it won't mess up his AI anymore.
It's pretty cool that that thing finds its way to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm easily impressed by that stuff, though.
It's exciting when that kind of thing works. So now if we shoot at this guy, we shouldn't have any more problems where his AI screws up because he's getting shot. Alright, cool. That works.
Oh, and he died.
We killed him. Haha, step on your corpse. Killed the horrible zombie that can find us. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I don't remember what it was that I was going to do.
Oh, maybe that pathfinding behavior where he would run into a wall.
I wanted to fix something else. I don't know what it was. Oh well. We'll fix it next time, whatever it was. So, thank you guys for watching tonight. If you want to contact me for with any questions, or if you want to ask something, or you want to just talk about games and game development, email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com, or you can tweet me at Drakfire. And Phil?
If you want to send me a nice email, mean email, any kind of email, you can do that at philip@protosoftworks.com. And also follow me on Twitter. It's at magmalemur. And you should buy Proton Pulse. If you have an iOS device, if you have a Mac, you should get a copy of Proton Pulse.
And if you have an iOS device, you should buy Phil's game Automation.
Yes, you should.
It's cheaper than my game too, so prioritize that, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, and you guys have a great night.
Yes, have a wondrous evening.